you saw Shroud play this in the last game. Ratchet Bomb from his sideboard.
Yep.
Thompson, 2 of them in his main deck.
Honestly, every time I've heard someone say, Ratchet Bomb, I don't know, it's okay, right? No. This card is a good card that you're going to see a lot of people moving to. I would actually be surprised if, maybe not this weekend, but sometime soon, we don't see the emergence of decks that haven't quite worked because of Ratchet Bomb making them go over the top. The example I'm thinking of is nearly mono black. You know, it needed something.
Yep.
And I think that Ratchet Bomb is the kind of card that does it. All of the blue-white based control decks have access to this card. Well, every deck has access to it, but they all get a little extra nudge. We saw just earlier Andrew Shrout using it in a mid-range aggro deck as an answer to problem cards.
Yep.
I just think we're going to see a lot of this card, and if you are not already on the Ratchet Bomb bandwagon, I predict you will be very shortly.
I would not be surprised at all, as we're going to see Thompson start off here with the Steam Vents. Again, game number 3 for these 2 players. Braun-Duin with an Avacyn's Pilgrim. There's an Augur of Bolas. It's a card that typically misses, and things are back to normal here at SCG Live. Woo! Last weekend it actually did hit when we had Todd Anderson in the booth, but that's the normal for Augur of Bolas.
Well, I mean, we were at a point with that card where I know that Shaheen Sarani was saying how he was just not playing him anymore. Never mind that guy.
You know, some people get a little bit frustrated when that thing misses. That's why I'll never cast it, and the fact that it's blue, simply not a color for me. And you saw Braun-Duin play an Overgrown Tomb, tapped and passed his turn back. Gerry surveying the territory, gonna play a Clifftop Retreat, it looks like. Yes, no, maybe so, we'll see. Again, Thompson, your defending Invitational champion, won in Atlanta earlier this year with blue, white, red, and standard. Shardless Bug in Legacy. He's doing the same dance again this weekend. Off to another great start after 2 buys and a win. Here's an Isolated Chapel, and there's a Garrick Relentless from Braun-Duin.
So interesting thing there. Gerry could have attacked for 1, but he did not. So why didn't he do that? Because, if you ask me, my expectation is he felt that the 1 damage that he might do was less valuable than taking 1 from that Pilgrim should it have attacked.
I'm inclined to agree with you. As you see the fight, Garrick flips into Garrick the Veil Curse. Thompson cycles in Azorius Charm. Don't know if he found a land or not.
I mean, he would love to see a burn spell right now, but there is not one, nor is there a land.
You see a Rest in Peace in Thompson's hand right now. He has 2 of those in his sideboard, but he does not have a 4th land, so he has to pass the turn back to Braun-Duin, who has plenty of lands, but also has an active Planeswalker. Godless Shrine going to come play on tap, and this feels like maybe an Obsidian going to get slammed down. Acidic Slime, the card.
Is there a counterspell? Luckily for Gerry, that would have been lights out if that had hit.
And that is an important counterspell. Dissipate going to remove Acidic Slime from the game, so no one barrel red shenanigans, just a wolf token going to be made.
Draws a Sacred Foundry.
So not always there when it calls, but on time. Sacred Foundry going to come into play. War Leader's Heal going to take care of the Planeswalker, so Thompson catching up here.
Now, Braun-Duin, the gates are open for him right now. Anything that he wants to do is the time to do it.
This is Thompson basically saying, all right, do your worst. I hope your worst isn't too much. I hope it's not an Obsidian. I hope it's not an Acidic Slime. Do what you can do. As you take a look at Braun-Duin's sideboard, Acidic Slime is a card he used to be just playing a million of. How many Acidic Slimes does he have there now?
2 Acidic Slime in the board. 0 in the main deck.
There was a point in time where he was playing 4 of that card main.
Oh, yeah.
And it was right.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree. And we see Obsidian. Now that is a monster of a 5-drop.
I wasn't sure if he had Obsidian or not, but he does. It's going to come in and drain him and brain him, as BBD likes to say.
That's nice. That's not, okay, will you find something for me? That's not terrible. It's not terrible. Okay. War Leader's Helix. And there's a land that he drew for this turn. So, okay. Getting some stuff going. Not dead yet.
Not dead yet, but a lot of work to do.
Oh, yes.
A lot of work to do for Thompson here. As Augur Bolas does hit, he's going to pass the turn back. Obsidian coming back in. Drain him and brain him. 2 going to go up for Braun-Duin. Down 2 for Thompson as he's going to draw a card. And we have seen this happen many a time before, Adrian. Obsidian can win games all by itself against your control decks.
It's just such a hard card to deal with. There are a couple of cards, Renounce the Guilds. That's one that can usually pretty handily remove it. Oh my god, the second
Acidic Slime. Both of them show up in this 3rd and final game. Is it going to resolve? It looks like it may. You know, Braun-Duin may have moved them away from the main deck, but he can't fully get away from the slime. He's Gonna take out a Steam Vent.
The only island that Gerry Thompson has in play.
But he's gonna draw a Hollow Fountain, this Thompson, but he has a lot of catching up to do. He's gonna play that Hollow Fountain and pass the turn back.
The Augur plus that Helix that Brian knows exists can take out Obsidian.
How about Gavin Township? Take that. So that's going to come into play. Slips out of his hand, but it's the land he wants to play, and it's a darn good one right now. So everything's coming sideways here. Obsidian, Acidic Slime, hey, Death Touch, Wolf Token, Avacyn's Pilgrim, feeling pretty tough.
This is a rough time here. Now, Gerry does still have the Restoration Angel in hand. I could see a Restoration Angel after blocks are declared to just both rebuy the Augur, suck in the 4 damage from the rest of the creatures, perhaps plus the Gavany Township, and then hopefully have enough to have a defense that will keep him alive for the subsequent turns, but that 4 damage becomes 7 damage, knocks him to 1, and then the Obsidian would finish him off, so he does it before blockers.
Finds a Dissipate off of the Augur trigger, so Augur's 2 of 3 here. You're going to see some blocks. Restoration Angel is going to eat that Avacyn's Pilgrim. Augur Bullet's going to go underneath the Obsidian Ghost Council. So Slime and Wolf come through, but do you pump if you're Braun-Duin? That's the question.
Right now he's dealing 3 damage. The choice is, does he want 5 damage? Obsidian coming back next turn would be an extra 2 damage to knock Gerry down to 1. Well, 1 is not dead, but they're still reasonable to pump it. There might be spells that make it more reasonable to do something else.
You know, the difficult thing here for Thompson is, even though he's starting to come back a little bit here, he's going to have a Restoration Angel left over after combat, is that overcoming the inevitability of Obsidian is incredibly difficult to do.
And he says die. He doesn't even bother to put the +1 counter on it.
No, that thing's going to go away. Going to move that counter off Obsidian. That's going to go out. Thompson going to go. He's at 3. When that comes back, it's going to be 1. And you see Thompson draws a clone for the turn.
That clone is awesome. It's not sufficient by itself, though.
See a bit of a smile here. Clone, you came at the wrong time. So now, what does Thompson do now? That's the question, because he has a War Leader's Helix, but you know that Junk Reanimator has Restoration Angel. So if he's going to kill something, he may just want to do it now. You see him reaching for it. He's going to clone. He's going to clone Acidic Slime. He's going to take care of Gavany Township and pass the turn back. What this does is that this stops the Obsidian from attacking.
Well,
but
I believe he has to have a trick.
And we're looking at a lethal attack, and Restoration Angel is going to blink out that Obsidian, and that is going to do it. So Braun-Duin is going to move on to 4-0. Junk Reanimator's dead? I don't think so, my friend. Gerry Thompson, always playing Blue, White, Red Flash, is going to get his first loss in the tournament. The defending champion, his record currently scathed, but we've got a long tournament to go. And if you remember the previous invitation, not last year's, but our previous one, Braun-Duin versus Thompson, they had a marathon affair in the semifinals, a 5-game set that was epic and fantastic to watch. I don't think this is the last time we're going to see these two guys butt heads in this tournament.
Absolutely.